Good morning, everybody. Hey, welcome to Thursday. It is Jobs Day. We'll get those numbers out here in just a few minutes when we talk with Scotty. Hey, before we do that, though, let's just don't forget that there's a lot of things in this world that you and I cannot control, but we can control how much risk we have in the current portfolio. Give us a call at 863-382-0037 to discuss how much risk you have in your portfolio through our core retirement design, where we help you design the retirement you always dreamed of. And with that, we've got Scotty coming up next.
0.7 the Highlands Light FM. Harry Styles on the way in just a little bit. It's 8:38 though. Time to head to downtown Sebring. Phillip's on the line at Statler Financial Services. How we doing, Phillip? Good morning.
Good morning, Scotty. Hey, doing well today. I hope you are as well as this. Hey, we're almost done with this week. 2 more days and the weekend will be here. And yesterday when you and I talked, we talked a little bit about the markets were trending down yesterday morning, and they did trend down most of yesterday. They did have a little bit of a bright spot earlier in the day. Actually, was looking pretty good. Was looking green, and then Mr. Powell decided to say a few words, and it reversed course and ended up down for the day. Not as bad as it had been early in the morning when you and I spoke, but still down. We ended up the S&P 500 down about $5, which is not bad. I mean, less than or a little bit more than 0.1%. The Dow Jones 30 ended up down $47 again, down not quite 0.2%. The NASDAQ ended up down $16, less than 0.2%. So, hey, it ended up really and truly better than what you and I talked about yesterday morning starting off. So that was kind of, I guess, a good thing. It, as Dave would have said, it's like a kissing your sister day. So nothing exciting going on there, So from an economic standpoint, we did have a little bit of news come out today. Thursday is always Jobs Day. And so we had our initial claims come out, and they weren't, basically they're at this point, any change, 1,000 or 5,000 here or there is not a big deal. They did revise last week's up by about 2,000 to 231,000 first-time claims. The jobs number came in this week at 229,000, which is 4,000 more than what they expected. Continuing claims did go up just a tad bit to 1.32 million versus 1.31 million. So, hey, all in all, I think that it's not a bad report going forward as we kind of look to see what else is happening. And there's just not much the rest of this week, Scotty, when it comes to economic news. Tomorrow we'll give a little forecast into what we can expect for the next week, because we do have some important numbers that will come out next week. We'll talk about that a little bit more tomorrow. And so that's really it on the economic front. Now we do have some numbers coming in from some companies. We've been talking about, we're really the tail end. I mean, we got the rest of this week and next week, and man, Scotty, it's going to be the third quarter before we know it, starting next Friday.
Know.
So
isn't that something? Yep.
It's just definitely a different world right now. So we do have some companies that have reported. We can start out with a name that we all know, Darden Restaurants. They're the parent company of Olive Garden. Who doesn't know where Olive Garden is, right? Good Italian food there. So they also own other restaurants as well. But they had a good quarter. Scotty, they had better than expected profit and revenue. They did a couple things. They've increased their dividend by 10%. And they have increased or authorized a new $1 billion share repurchase program. So they're going to go out and start buying back their own shares. And that increases shareholder value because it increases usually the price of the stock.
Right, sure.
So we've got Darden this morning trading up, well, almost 3%.
Yeah, hey, that's great. We were talking about Winnebago yesterday. Hey, if the Winnebago folks are doing well, the recreational business and the restaurants are doing well, that's good news, right, Philip?
That's some good. Yeah, that is definitely some good news. So we also had a couple other things come out. You and I've been talking a little bit about real estate and housing and
Right.
home sales and that kind of stuff. So we had another construction company report. KB Homes reported they also had a good quarter. They beat on earnings and revenue. They did say though that they are seeing some slowdown
Right.
because interest rates are going higher,
Sure.
and higher prices of houses are finally starting to have a negative impact on their sales growth. Didn't seem to hurt them on their current stock price, though. They're still trading up today for almost, well, a little over 4% right now.
Okay. Well, good.
So
All
good,
right.
good for them. Got a couple more for you. We have a company called Accenture. May not be a household name along consumers, but for businesses, it is. They're a big consulting firm, mostly based out of Europe now, but still they do some work here in the United States as well. They did beat on revenue. I'm sorry, they beat on earnings. They missed on revenue. Part of it is they did exit 100% out of Russia now, so that's impacted them. They did raise their full year revenue forecast, but they kind of went in and adjusted their top end expectations downward a little bit. They are
Okay.
traded on the Frankfurt Exchange, and so I lost them here.
Okay. You'll find them.
Yeah. So they're really there's right this second they're trading down on that exchange because it's actually up and moving right now.
Gotcha.
We've
Okay.
got I think a couple more for you here today. We got FactSet. FactSet's not a big deal for the consumer, but it is for folks like me because that's what they do. They provide us financial information, and so it's important the work they do for us. They beat on their top and bottom line for this last quarter. They did come back and kind of backed on their full year guidance, saying they should be good. They actually expect to hit the upper end of their projected range. They haven't traded yet this morning, but they closed up yesterday by about 1/3%. Another one
All right.
that Dave and I've been talking about off and on a little bit is Rite Aid, the drugstore chain. They
I
had
see.
better than
Okay.
expected revenue and smaller than expected quarterly loss. And so that's helping them. They're up 4.3% this morning. They're not an expensive stock, Scotty. They're trading about $7 a share right now.
Okay. All
And the
right.
last
What
one
else
I
you got?
have for you is a
Uh-huh.
company called Steelcase. Now, Steelcase is in the office furniture business. They had better than expected quarterly results as well. They're seeing higher prices for their products. They're seeing increased demand. So those things are helping to offset their rising costs. Obviously, supply chain is still an issue for them, but they are trading. Well, they haven't traded yet this morning. They closed yesterday up about 0.3%. So not a bad day for them.
Okay.
The As we kind of look at where we are before the day starts, we are slightly in the green.
Okay.
Nothing drastic. We got the Dow 30 up about 0.2%. S&P 500 is up about 1/3%. And the Nasdaq 100 is up a little over 0.5%. But hey, it's all in the green, which is
Yeah.
always good news.
Right.
If
We'll
we
take
look
it.
at the
Okay.
Yeah, that's right. We'll take green anytime. On the commodities front, we've got silver again trading down another 1% this morning. And it's really shrinking. It's almost getting down below $21 an ounce right now. We've got gold down to about 1/4% to $1,834 an ounce. It's still trending down, trying to get below that 1,800. Definitely the wrong direction. Crude oil is basically flat right now. It's been bouncing around. it right now would open at $106 a barrel, a little bit more than what it was yesterday when you and I spoke. But hey, not as bad as it had been last week for sure. And so we can
Right.
expect, hopefully, oil prices will give us back a little bit, and we'll see some gas prices starting to reduce a little bit. That would be some good news, wouldn't it, Scotty?
Sure, you bet. Hey, what do you think about this 18-cent tax rebate thing, or the elimination or suspension of the federal tax for a while that the president's kicking around? Is there anything to that? Will that have an effect if it goes through?
Well, it'll definitely have an effect, Scotty, because that's going to reduce the gasoline prices by that 18
Yeah.
cents, which will be good for the consumer. I mean, they're struggling right now with the gas prices the way they are. And it'd be really nice if they would time that to match up with the Florida rebate or the Florida reduction of the gas tax. Because that, I'm not sure exactly what that number is, but in my head, I want to think that the Florida gas tax is somewhere in the 20 to 24 cent range.
Yeah. A lot of what we pay at the pump is taxes, right? I mean, that's always been the case. Yeah.
That's always
all
been
right.
the
Well,
case.
good.
So so that would be definitely good for the consumer to give us a little bit of a break when it comes to what we're paying at the pump.
Okay.
So anything that he can do to help us out there, and I'm sure he'll time that with the reelection time because he's trying to help his party.
Yep. Wouldn't be
But
surprised, right?
yeah, but that's not going to help across the board, right? We're still going to see inflation, and we'll talk about our gross domestic product in the next week when that comes out. So
Yeah.
those are some big numbers that
That'll be
are
interesting.
important.
Yeah. All right.
Definitely will. So, hey, as we close out, let's not forget to mention that, folks, that risk is important. It is the one thing that you can't control in your portfolio. It's why we developed our core retirement design to help folks design the retirement they always dreamed of. Give us a call at 863-382-0037 to schedule your core retirement design. And then join us this weekend for the Statler Financial Radio Show, 6 a.m. and noon on Saturday, 10 a.m. Sunday morning on Highlands News Talk 730, 95.3 FM.
All righty. Hey, we'll do it all again tomorrow. We'll wrap up the week, you and me. What do you say?
All right, man. Sounds good, buddy. Have a great day.
All right, we'll see you then. There's Phillip Statler, Statler Financial Services in Sebring.
Hey, folks, again, I want to thank you for joining us as we get close to closing out this week. I hope you have a great day. I look forward to you joining us again tomorrow morning, same time, same place. Until then, have a great day.